Rolf Meyer speaks out on the deployment of the army to gang-ravaged areas, and Germany joins in withholding aid to Rwanda. Good afternoon. Chairperson of the Defence Review Committee, Rolf Meyer, has scoffed at calls to deploy the army to gang-ravaged areas on the Cape Flats. He's been speaking on the sidelines of the committee seminar in Cape Town. More than 20 people have been killed in recent months in gang violence in Lavender Hill and Hanover Park. President Jacob Zuma is still considering Western Cape Premier Helen Zille's request to deploy the army to quell the violence. Meyer says the army has a specific role.
The Defence Review Committee has a very specific view on that, a very strong view on that, and that is that we have to adhere to the provisions of the Constitution and the Defence Act. And that means the Defence Force should at all times be engaged in the things that it is meant to be for, and that is protecting the country, the sovereignty of the state, and protecting the people of the country. So its first role and its main role is not to engage in crime combating.
Police in the Southern Cape believe that a rhino poaching syndicate might be at work in the region. This follows the discovery of the remains of a bull this week on a farm near Mossel Bay. Despite ample security measures, the poachers killed the rhino 500 meters from the main house. Police spokesperson Malcolm Pogier says preliminary reports indicate that the rhino was darted before it was dehorned.
Well, it's quite clear, based on the evidence that we found on the scene, that the syndicate might be involved in this horrific deed. Yeah, and we're investigating all those possibilities.
Chairperson of the Umalusi Council, Dr. Sizwe Mabizela, has called on the Basic Education Department to state the norms and standards of what makes a school. This after the uproar over the delayed delivery of school textbooks, mainly in Limpopo, as well as a court battle between the department and the Legal Resources Centre over severe teacher shortages and non-payment in the Eastern Cape. Umalusi is responsible for ensuring quality education. Mabizela explains their concerns.
We need to have very clear norms and standards. What is a school? What should we expect in a school? But we must also develop some basic routines. It seems absolutely bizarre to me that in end of July, we are still talking about provinces that have not received their textbooks for the year. The year is almost halfway through, and that is completely inexcusable.
Further afield, Germany has joined Britain, the Netherlands and the United States in withholding aid to the Rwandan government. This follows a UN report that Rwanda is backing rebels fighting in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Rwanda says it will not be subjected to bullying or pressure from donors. African Fashion International General Manager Grant Blackbeard says the current economic climate hasn't stopped fashionistas from spending money on expensive clothing. He's been speaking at the Cape Town Fashion Week, which will end today. Blackbeard says the event provides up-and-coming designers with a platform to showcase their brands.
As much as the economic crunch has hit us, I think that people still have to be fashionable, and I think that people will still spend decently on it, but of course be more selective. For the developing mainstream designers, it's always a difficult thing because they are affected by some of the bigger retailers. There's always a good market, which will never really decline to that degree. I think it's actually on the rise.
And finally, Eric Murray and Hamish Bond of New Zealand have smashed the world best time in the men's pair by nearly 6 seconds at the 2012 London Olympic rowing regatta. They crossed the line in a time of 6 minutes 8.50 seconds at Dorney Lake. The two have easily surpassed the previous best time of 6 minutes 14.27 minutes posted by Matthew Pinsett and James Cracknell of Britain in 2002. Murray and Bond are the big favourites for the gold medal. They haven't lost since coming together after the 2008 Beijing Olympics. We'll have more Olympics and other sports news on SAFM Sports Special starting shortly.